Merced County's news voice since 1936. News Talk 1480, KYOS, Merced.
Greetings from the KYOS News Desk. We are joined once again this week by Merced City Council member Josh Pedroso. Welcome back, Josh. How was your holiday?
My holiday was great.
How'd your bird come out?
The bird came out really good. It's never, you can't really follow the directions. It says 5 hours and then, it's
what do you mean you can't really follow the directions?
Well, you can, but the baking time, I put it in I think I put my bird in at 5 o'clock. They say, okay, it's going to take 5 hours, so 5 and then 45 minutes to an hour to let it rest.
Right.
Wasn't able to pull the bird out and let it rest till about 11. So it actually worked out good because we didn't eat till 1, but still it was...
So wasn't there longer than you anticipated?
It wasn't there longer than I anticipated, but wasn't dry. It was, from my estimation, I thought it turned out really well.
Now, does your oven have an even radiant heat disbursement?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a geothermal engineer, Steve. So
I'm trying to think of reasons why you'd have to pick your bird longer.
You're probably right. I mean, that's probably what it was. But I did everything that they said, and it's not a very big oven, so maybe that had something to do with it too. But I had to move the rack down a little bit to make sure that the pan and everything fit in there because it was a 20-pound bird.
But it came out well?
Came out really well.
Tasted good, nice and juicy?
Nice and juicy.
And no family drama?
No family drama.
So you're lucky, dude.
Yeah,
you got a pretty regular family, pretty normal family. I thought I did too until this last Thanksgiving. Started getting a little nuts on me, dude.
My family would question if they're regular or not.
Well, at least they don't fight with each other.
Yeah.
At least they don't, there's harmony, when everyone's together. That's a cool thing. And before you sat down, you and I looked at each other and said, real great news here in Merced County. We just got the ruling came out this afternoon from, is that the Fresno?
The Fresno Court of Appeals came out and agreed with the city on all counts. I haven't had an opportunity to read the decision. There was a 97-page decision that our attorney just sent to us. The way he explained it to me, and this is,
And this was the resolution to the Walmart Distribution Center EIR, Environmental Impact Report Challenge,
correct.
More or less?
They challenged it because they said that there was an additional 4,000 pages that were put in that the public didn't have an opportunity to see, and that just wasn't the case. We went above and beyond, and this is before I was on the council, but this has been something going on for quite some time. The city went above and beyond to make sure that every single one of these documents was available to the public. One of the things that our attorney told me was they did the EIR, they had it peer reviewed to make sure that everything was okay. Then they had the peer review reviewed again to make sure that it was a lock-tight case. That's where they kind of messed up because they really had nothing to pull out of to really, say, hey, this was wrong. We want you to fix this. Well, everything was fixed because we were so diligent in making sure the process was done correctly. So the judges came out today with the decision siding with the city on all counts, which is great news. That's 1,200 jobs that are going to come to our community.
Permanent jobs.
Permanent jobs.
Not to mention the construction jobs.
Exactly. And we've talked numerous times about this. It's the multiplier effect. Mm-hmm. So it's not only are the construction jobs, yes, those aren't going to be here forever, but they're going to be spending money. Then when the 1,200 employees, whether they come from Chowchilla or they come from Madera, they come from Turlock or Atwater, wherever, they're going to have to spend money in the city of Merced, and that's one of the best things that we can have. Another really good stat that I heard today was the fact that when this thing is at full build-out with all 1,200 employees, the city made an argument that this can lower the unemployment rate of the county by 1% just because of all that's coming in. That is great news for
because that's not only the 1,200 employees that will be directly working for Walmart. Exactly. It's the people that work at the cafes around there,
exactly,
or the shopping centers, or the food stores.
Well, and hopefully we'll start to see some more development in that corridor over there after the Walmart distribution center.
From a practicality standpoint, what should we expect as citizens when the Walmart's up here and running? Are we going to see more trucks coming in and out of the city? Or just going to be more traffic on 99? How is it really going to actually affect us? Per se.
Well, I think you're going to see more trucks going up and down 99, but I don't think it's going to be any more than what's already there.
Right. But they'll be coming up 99 or down 99, getting off on the exit, going directly to the distribution center and coming right back on and been on their way.
And that's kind of the way the trucks, there's very strict laws about where trucks can and can't drive through the city of Merced. These, where the Mission Interchange is, they built that specifically, for easy on and off access for these trucks that are going to come in. The other thing is, people are concerned about the air quality. Walmart hasn't become the biggest retailer and the most, income generator retailer in the entire world because they don't know how to run a business. They understand that with the regulations that are coming down from the air boards in the Central Valley and the air pollution and what the fight is, they've fixed their trucks to make sure that they're not idling. If they idle for more, I think, than 2 minutes, they shut off. They're coming out with a fleet of green trucks.
Well, you talk about the multiplier effect. You know, if they shut down, if they conserve a little bit of energy with one truck, times that by how many?
Absolutely.
You know, it's a huge multiplier effect for them as far as cost is concerned.
And hopefully, you know, at the other distribution centers, I know that there's one in Apple Valley, I believe it is the town it's in.
Which, by the way, to remind people, Apple Valley is thrilled
absolutely,
that the Walmart distribution came there. And
done numerous things for their economy there. Right. And not only did the Walmart distribution center come, but a Peterbilt truck manufacturing plant came right next to it, or a mechanic, so they can work in synchronicity to make sure that they can get those things done. So I think it's great news for the city. In no way is it, you know, just one egg, but it's a good start to what we can.
And for all intent and purposes, the only thing you may notice different is more trucks on the 99.
More Walmart trucks.
More Walmart trucks on the 99.
You're gonna see trucks going up and down 99.
Yeah,
regardless.
I mean, that's a huge throw. I mean, anybody that's driven 99 knows there's all kinds of trucks.
But the other cool thing is with the expansion of 99 and all the work that Caltrans is doing to expand 99, it's going to be beneficial. You know, there's going to be trucks, but with the expansion of 99, it's going to make traffic. I think the flow is going to be a lot better. So it'll be good. It'll be good. You know, we can't. They're kind of in the corner right now. The Marge people who have brought the lawsuit. Marge Merced Alliance for Responsible Growth is the one that brought the lawsuit. They're kind of in the corner right now with, you know, not much.
They got one appeal left. They got one more to the Supreme Court, I thought.
They have two options. They can either ask for a rehearing with the 3-judge panel that heard the case
just now in Fresno,
or they can appeal it to the Supreme Court. Our attorney told us that in the 20 years he's been practicing public law, he has never seen an appeals court say, we'll rehear the case. And the state Supreme Court doesn't hear every case. I think, you know,
there would have to be an element to it that would be precedent sitting.
Exactly.
Correct? And this is something that's, you know, been rehashed and hashed again many, many times.
And I think they look at it as this is something that could potentially waste our time, and they don't want to do that. So I'm excited. I know city staff is excited. I know the rest of the city council is excited because this is something that's really going to be a good shot in the arm.
Well, I did see in the article that I read that the Marge a representative said that we'll see what happens at the next level. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking the next level is the appeal to the California Supreme Court.
I'm sure they're gonna exhaft all possibilities.
Now, do we have any idea how long that process takes?
What we were told is that we should get some sort of decision after the first of the year.
Whether or not they're going to accept the case or not.
Exactly.
And then let's say they do not accept the case, then they're done. And then how soon after that can we expect things to start rolling?
Well, the thing is, Walmart has technically been able to break ground whenever they want. Right after the city council meeting in 2009 where they approved it, they had the ability to break ground and do everything they wanted to do then. But Walmart got into a position to where they were building a store, I believe, in Madera, and
an actual retail store.
Then they were sued. They had injunction. They had to stop construction. They had bricks and stuff laying out there for 2 years because it was stopped. Walmart has said until any litigation,
you can't blame them.
Oh no,
I mean, this is California.
Yeah, and so they're going to wait until all litigation options have been exhausted,
and that we should
go back.
be able to resolve that by the end of January,
and that's
or beginning of January.
You know, I was told, you know, we were just going back and forth. Somebody had said they wouldn't be surprised if it was March 2013 when they were actually going to be able to start building. March 2013 is right around the corner. So
4 months. Now, is there a local contractor? I mean, have we gotten to the process yet about who's actually going to be doing the building?
Walmart, whenever they build something, they kind of have their own construction teams. So I know that I know a couple of people in Merced who've worked for Walmart construction during the boom when they were building stores a lot. So they do hire local people. They hire local subcontractors and stuff like that also. So that's something, you know, that we can look forward to.
But the construction guys will kind of pop in, get the building done, and they kind of move on to their next assignment?
Correct. Gotcha. Correct. But like I said, subcontractors, people here in Merced who, you know, have worked for them for a number of years will be.
And have we gotten the word out to potential subcontractors how they would go about that?
So yeah, that's not, you know, I'm not sure because remember this happened in 2009, a month or 2 months before I was elected. But well, that's all on Walmart's hands. We can't, as a city, we cannot say you have to hire a certain amount of Merced work or local workers, because then it becomes discrimination. And then companies say, hey, look, you're discriminated against. People from outside the area or other cities or other municipalities can say that. So
but based on the past, they've subcontracted out to local entities.
Correct.
But do we know who the local entities would have to get in touch with to offer their services?
I would assume when they
start rolling. I mean, literally, there'll be a building put up to where you can go and kind of bid on things.
Absolutely.
Usually
I'm sure Walmart will do that with the request for proposals and all that stuff that they have to do.
Put ads in the paper as far as
absolutely.
Okay.
And that was something that they really pushed in 2009, because I was at those meetings and I remember they were really pushed. Please do everything you can to hire local workers. Do everything you can to hire local workers and get them back. And I wouldn't be surprised that out of that 1,200 jobs in Merced County, people throughout the valley are going to hear about that. So it's going to be competitive, which is good. You're going to get the best and the brightest people. But once it's up and running, hey, if somebody comes from Sacramento to apply for a job at the Walmart distribution center, chances are they're going to move to Merced.
Right.
Which is something that, will be beneficial to us.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it.
The only downside that's ever been proposed for this whole thing is the environmental impact. Mm-hmm. And like you said, their trucks are the least polluting in the industry. Mm-hmm. They take pride in that. And, for all intent and purposes, we're not going to really notice anything except more Walmart trucks on 99. Mm-hmm. So,
and you have to look at the air quality. If you look on the news, and I don't have the statistics or anything, but it almost seems like every time I watch the news and they talk about the air quality throughout the valley, Merced is always, good. We're always in the green,
absolutely.
Whereas Fresno, Madera, and some other counties aren't necessarily in the position that we're in. So
absolutely.
I don't think it's really going to be that much of a detriment. Walmart has also done stuff like putting berms up to where they can conserve irrigation water. They've put up, and those same berms are also supposed to, divert some of the noise pollution that they were worried about. They're working 24 hours a day, so there will be some lights and stuff like that, but they're far enough away to where you shouldn't be able to hear too much of what's going on. They know what they're doing when they put these structures up, and I don't think any company wants to come in and just be a predator to the surrounding community and just take advantage of what's going on. Exactly. They'll get run out of town.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing that I don't think, again, Walmart, they're not stupid. They've been around long enough. They know what they're doing. So kudos to city staff for what they've done in working with it and not dropping the ball and really taking this as serious as it is, because they recognize the fact that if we can put people back to work, we're going to start seeing some stuff turn around, which is amazing.
Absolutely. And we had one of the economic development people, Maria, in for community conversations this week. People will be able to hear her. I don't know if she's on this week or next week, but she was saying that she'd actually gone down to some type of convention down in Southern California and had been pointed out by someone that had come through here, a site coordinator, I believe, and said that Merced's got their act together.
Absolutely. And we continue, and that's one of the good things I like. We continue to see when developers come in, they send our economic development people emails and letters saying, hey, it was a pleasure working with you guys, or they'll come to city council and say, you guys really know what you're doing. It was a pleasure working with you. And as a city council member, I like hearing that, because that means staff is really focused on getting this community back on track.
And that's been a long time coming.
Very, very long time
because
coming.
We were not there.
No, we weren't.
Not many years ago.
And I think we
finally have gotten there.
It's been a focus of the city council, of this city council and the past city council, that we've really said, hey, what can we do to streamline? What can we do to make ourselves, and I hate this term, more business friendly? When we've done everything and we're working to put ourselves back in that position, I think we've done a good job.
Well, we've got a great geographical advantage. Mm-hmm. We're right smack dab in the middle of the state.
Absolutely.
And this is the 9th largest economy in the world.
Absolutely.
So we're centrally located in the 9th largest economy in the world. And I think that it's just a matter of how you think about things. And when you think, we're just Merced, we're a small farming community, we don't really have to be business friendly because, we're ag. We farm, versus, getting a new mindset and saying, why not us? Why can't economic growth happen here?
And that's the thing that we're, and that goes back to the thing with the high-speed rail. Yes, we are agriculture. Yes, we are, that's our main focus. The state has put so much pressure that it's going to happen. We're saying, okay, what can we do to be a part of this economic development, to stay off of the ag ground, to benefit all parties involved? Everybody's not going to be, people are going to be displaced, and negative things are going to happen with high-speed rail, but it's still important to realize that, hey, the train's coming through. It's either we be a loud voice and a concern that, hey, we're going to get our piece of the pie without you guys taking over, And I think we've done that.
Absolutely, and that's the key thing.
Absolutely.
Is we're getting our piece. You're not going to come in here and take advantage of things, and that's the next thing we have to guard against, because as things get better here, more of those hawks are going to start coming in trying to get, a free lunch.
And they, I mean, you can look at the housing boom, and that's what caused that. So now we're a little bit more cautious of, hey,
Absolutely.
this isn't how we're gonna do business anymore.
And we're going to be a little bit more skeptical of the slick talkers.
Absolutely.
They come in and promise us the moon, and because we're men of honor. We're farmers. A handshake's good enough. You tell me something and shake my hand and look me in the eye, I'm going to believe you.
Absolutely.
But we live in a world that might not be the best approach, and I think we've learned that the hard way a couple times here in the county. And I still want to be able to do business with a handshake and your word should be your bond. But we also have to what do they say? Protect but verify, or trust but verify, and make sure that we're certainly on the dealing with somebody of honor and integrity.
Absolutely.
For sure. And people that you get the feeling that it matters. Their honor, their personal honor, because that's all you have.
That's
as
right.
an individual in life, all you have is your personal integrity, and once you lose that, it's a hell of a thing to try to get back.
And it's almost impossible to get it back. If you go around and, you lie and cheat and steal, well, then you get a reputation. And that's just not something that personally I want to deal with. So,
yeah. Real quick to toot our agricultural horn. We had a gentleman in here, I guess once a year, every county has to put together an ag report about what they produced, and we got ours. And I thought this was very interesting that we produced $3.25 billion in ag in Merced County alone. That's gross. That's not profit, but that's the money that was generated. And that Merced County is the number 5 agricultural producing entity in the entire country. Number 5.
Yeah, which is incredible when you look at that. When you look at, Merced County is related to other counties, and we can be smaller and stuff. It just goes to show you that we are passionate about agriculture, and we're passionate about farming.
And we do it well. We've been doing it for so long, and it's been passed on from generation to generation. We're the best at it. And I'll challenge that with anybody who wants to talk smack.
And it's evolving. It's the families are passing down generations of families to where now, instead of it used to be, well, you're going to farm. It's okay, now you're going to go to college.
Right.
You
learn a
still
more
know how to
efficient way to farm,
and then come back and then move on from there. And I think that we've really done a good job at that.
Recognizing that the game changes.
Exactly.
And you have to change with it, or you get left behind. And you want to guess what the number 1 commodity was? $1 bill?
Either poultry or milk. I think it's poultry.
It was milk.
Milk. Okay.
And actually, number 2 was not poultry.
Tomatoes?
Almonds. Yeah.
Okay, but what's on the list? There's milk, tomatoes, almonds.
I only wrote down 1 and 2.
Okay.
Milk was worth $1 bill alone.
Hey,
$1 billion with a B, baby.
That's a lot of
That's
milk.
a lot of dough.
It's the bread. This is the bread. We have the best soil in all of the world. This is the breadbasket of the world, and they call it that for a reason.
I know we
what we're
grow
doing.
90% of the sweet potatoes. The only other state that gives us any competition is North Carolina, I believe they said. And what was the other one? Obviously, Radicchio. Supply the world with Radicchio, the martinis.
Which was something that hasn't been around for very long.
They invented that crap, didn't they?
Yeah, they got into the market and it took off like gangbusters. And I don't know if they expected it to go as far, but they've done they're making pickle Radicchio now that you can, it's good on sandwiches and stuff.
Figs. We grow figs. And I've never been a fig eater, but I went over to D'Angelo's, and he makes something on a little piece of toast about that big. I could eat 50 of them. I mean, it's amazing.
The thing that Vinny does with how he does it with the figs and stuff, I don't understand. I mean, he mixes them with so many different things that you would never expect.
That's the cool thing about going to his place is there's stuff that you can only get there. You can't get it anywhere else.
You're right.
And you take your visitors from out of town down there, and they think this is Merced, population 80,000, ain't the city. But you go down there and take one of his specialties.
You're going to get a good meal.
Yeah, slide in and say, hey, what do you got to say now?
Exactly.
But things are looking up.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And I love this community, and I'm so happy for the potential and the prospects that this can bring us, which is just amazing. It's going to be really good.
Have you heard anything about what's happening north of us? I mean, any more with the city of Atwater?
I know that they were able to avoid.
Do you pay attention to that kind of stuff or no? I mean,
no,
are you just so into trying to figure out what's going on here in Merced that you don't have time?
Well, no, and it's not necessarily that. I think you
guys have like a councilman's union or something.
Well, we yeah, these make it sound like the mafia or something. No, we get together once a quarter. The cities and the county get together and discuss some of the issues
all the
that we're all
council members
facing,
and so
and all the
forth, yeah.
council members and different staff members and stuff. In fact, I'm the chairman this year of putting those meetings together and stuff like that. So we're working on, I think, our next meeting.
Is that D'Angelo's?
No, I wish. Can't remember where it's going to be, but we have it planned for December, and then we'll meet again in February and just, keep the lines of communication open. I think you have to be aware of what's going on in other cities so that when you make a decision, you can look at, okay, well, this is the decision they made. How can this, impact us so that we don't make the same decision or the policy issue? Because if we get into a position like that, it's just not, you don't want to follow the wrong path. They say that history has a way of repeating itself. So you want to make sure that when you make a policy decision, you're doing it and you look at all the other, entities that go into it.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to throw out real quick is we had Teresa Hong and her husband in. He has that web
Daniel,
TV.
yeah.
And they were talking about they just got a grant from Citibank and they're starting a business called Elements Merced. So you want to hit the Elements Merced up on Facebook if you're interested. And it's a social media. I didn't get all the details on it, but it's a way to really grow your business and your footprint through social media. And it's called Elements Merced, and you can hit it up on Facebook and like them and get some information on that.
And that was from the Citibank grant that the cities have been working on, and that about social networking and social media and how it can really impact your business. Dan's been a really good ambassador to Merced because with his video about buy local and why it's important to buy local. And if anybody hasn't seen that, you can go to the cityofmerced.org website. It's right there on the front. It's about 3.5 minutes, and it really puts into perspective about why it's important to shop here, which we said last time is, that's where we get the money.
Yeah, and we're moving into the age of social media. I mean, we're already there.
Yeah,
but it's going to get nothing but more intense. And I think I still don't have a Facebook page. I don't want to say I'm fighting it, but I've never got into the Facebooks or the tweets and all that stuff like that. It just doesn't interest me per se, but it's a necessary thing, I think, for any business going forward in this information age. And this is a situation where it sounded like the grants are going to make this relatively inexpensive. Might not even cost you anything, because while they're training people in this industry, businesses are going to be getting the benefits of it, because basically they'll be in training under the grant, but your business can enjoy the rewards of the trainees, if you will, for no cost, I believe. And then their ultimate goal is, I was very glad to hear, is they want to eventually in a couple of years when the grant runs out, make it a private industry where revenue is generated from it. And I think that's the key. And I think that's where the public-private partnerships come in, is this is going to be a grant that's going to get things going for a certain amount of time, but then it's like you're off on your own now. You have a skill set that should be able to generate revenue for your business in your city,
which is good. And the thing, if I remember correctly, the thing about this, grant is it's all marketing. It's how to use social media in order to market your business and how to market it. Any successful business has to have a good marketing strategy. And so,
while we're teaching kids, because I think they said the sweet spot was like anybody can apply, but 18 to 25 year olds, I think what they're looking at, while they're learning how to become marketing experts, they'll take your business with it.
Which is good because you're going to have all these entrepreneurs from UC Merced who want to stay in Merced and start to develop their own businesses, which I think will benefit our downtown, will make our downtown area even better than what it already is, because that's those small entrepreneurial businesses that want to go there. I was really happy. I just had to buy a new 49er hat, and I went to the hat store downtown, and they had all the hats that you could want. And the customer service, and they had a Black Friday deal, but they didn't have the marketing in order to, say what was going on,
right.
Which I think was, and the people were great, and it's stuff like that that's going to make our economy, especially in Merced, it's a small business economy. It's really going to make us.
So if you're interested in learning social media or capitalizing on social media, check out Elements Merced on Facebook. And real close, we only got about less than a minute left. Colin Kaepernick is the starter for the 49ers. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Really?
I was an Alex Smith guy.
Yeah. Don't you think Colin Kaepernick has a higher ceiling?
I think he does, but it's hard to 13-3. It's hard to take one play away from the NFC Championship or Super Bowl.
Took us to the NFC Championship last year, so if we don't.
But hey, I'm a Niner fan, so let's go forward.
Yeah. And Colin Kaepernick, Turlock guy.
That's right.
And that's a little selfish, but I think it'd be super cool to have a guy from Turlock quarterback in the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
I hope that's the case.
And the guy's a stud.
He is.
Guy is a stud.
Throws the ball.
Throws
really
it well.
hard.
He's fast. He's big. I mean, he's got everything. Looks like he enjoys the game is what I like about him.
Very much so.
So, and we'll see.
Right on.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Merced County's news voice since 1936. News Talk 1480, KYOS, Merced.